In a surprising turn, Rep. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, has publicly declined to support a primary challenge to House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries, signaling a degree of restraint from the progressive wing of the Democratic Party as a younger council member, Chi Ossé, mounts his campaign. The move reveals significant tension in the left's strategy and highlights complicated calculations about power, timing, and unity. The controversy started when Chi Ossé, a 27-year-old New York City council member and Democratic Socialists of America member, DSA member, filed paperwork to run in New York's 8th congressional district, the seat currently held by Jeffries. Ossé, viewed by some on the left as a rising progressive star, has criticized Democratic leadership for failing to deliver bold changes and has suggested that Jeffries hasn't gone far enough to challenge the status quo. For progressives frustrated with centrist Democratic power structures, Ossé's potential run represents an opportunity to bring generational and ideological challenge to the top of the party. But that challenge is not getting universal support. Chief among the skeptics is AOC. Speaking to Axios, AOC expressed surprise at Ossé's filings, claiming she was not aware of his campaign and stated clearly that she does not think a primary challenge to Jeffries is wise at this moment. Her exact words, "I certainly don't think a primary challenge to the leader is a good idea right now." This isn't a full-throated defense of Jeffries or his leadership, but rather a pragmatic assessment of timing and strategy from one of the most influential progressive voices in Congress. Why AOC is staying on the sidelines? Several possible reasons are driving her reluctance. Strategic timing. AOC seems to believe that now is not the political moment to wage an internal battle. With major policy fights ahead and Democrats under pressure, she may view a leadership primary as a distraction that could destabilize unity. Progressive unity versus fragmentation. While AOC has long been associated with left-wing insurgency, her refusal to back Ossé's challenge suggests she doesn't want to deepen internal rifts right now, especially amid a fragile relationship between insurgent progressives and establishment Democrats. Confidence in Jeffries for now. By not endorsing the primary bid, AOC is implicitly signaling that she thinks Jeffries can still hold the line on certain progressive priorities, or at least that he remains a usable ally for now. Pressure from other progressives. Notably, Zohran Mamdani, a DSA-aligned figure and mayor-elect in New York City, has also downplayed the primary challenge. He argues that progressive energy may be better spent working locally rather than fighting for a House seat. Reaction from different camps. From Ossé and supporters. Ossé's base likely views this as a missed opportunity, a chance to shift Democratic power from the establishment to a more progressive younger generation. From party leadership. Jeffries has responded to the challenge with a mix of confidence and openness. At a press conference, he told reporters, "Come on in, the water is warm," suggesting he sees legitimacy, not threat, in Ossé's bid. From other progressives. Some progressive strategists, like Adam Green, of the Progressive Change Campaign Committee, agree with AOC on timing, arguing that destabilizing party leadership too soon could backfire. This moment is revealing for several reasons. 1. AOC's pragmatic shift. Once best known for her insurgent primary campaign against a Democratic establishment figure, Joe Crowley, AOC is now signaling that even strong progressives may need to be cautious about challenging party leadership. This suggests a maturation in her role, not merely a disruptor, but someone thinking deeply about strategy. 2. Tensions within the DSA and progressive movement. The fact that Ossé, Mamdani, and AOC are not aligned on this challenge highlights fault lines in the progressive coalition. Not all progressives agree on how aggressively to challenge the Democratic establishment, especially when it comes to internal leadership. 3. The stakes of leadership. Jeffries, as House Minority Leader, is a major figure in national Democratic politics. A primary challenge would not only be about a local seat, it could represent a broader ideological rebuke. AOC's rejection suggests she's wary of destabilizing a leader who might still be useful for passing certain progressive priorities, or a scapegoat that could harm Democrats ahead of critical fights. 4. Generational versus institutional power. Ossé's run is part of a generational story, younger, more radical voices pushing for change. But AOC's hesitation underscores that institutional power, committees, fundraising, national visibility, still matters even for insurgents. Potential risks and criticisms of AOC's decision. Alienation of the base. By not backing Ossé, AOC risks alienating some progressive activists who see this as a failure to fully challenge the establishment. Missed opportunity. If Ossé were to win, it could have marked a major leftward shift, one that might strengthen the progressive wing long term. Credibility questions. AOC's credibility as a champion of internal party reform could be tested if she opposes a clearly progressive challenger, especially when her brand is built on disrupting business as usual. AOC's response might hint at a broader strategy. She could be positioning herself as a bridge between insurgent progressives and establishment Democrats, rather than a polarizing figure. She might also believe that change will come through policy pushes, not leadership takeovers, focusing on legislation where she can drive progressive wins rather than upending party structure. Ossé's campaign. Despite AOC's refusal, Ossé could still run. How much traction he gains will depend in part on grassroots support, fundraising, and whether other progressives step in. Democratic strategy. The party may coalesce around Jeffries for now, but underlying tensions remain. Progressive voices may again push for more structural reforms or leadership challenges later. AOC's role. Watching her moves will be crucial, whether she pivots back to championing insurgents or leans more into a pragmatic institutional role. AOC's rejection of a primary challenge against Hakeem Jeffries is more than a simple no. It's a strategic signal. For progressives, timing matters, and internal battles can carry risks, especially when national power, generational change, and party unity collide. Her comments suggest she's not done pushing for progressive change, but right now, she appears unwilling to gamble on internal disruption, choosing to weigh the cost of division against the potential long-term gains of patience and pragmatism. As the progressive movement navigates its next chapter, this moment could be one of recalibration, not a retreat, but a tactical pause. AOC has made clear she's watching, she's calculating, and for a movement that often prizes urgency, that could be her most powerful move yet.